We have discussed about different types of pollutants which are released through the municipal waste, domestic waste, industrial and agriculture waste. So all these types of wastewater, they contain different types of pollutants. And these pollutants are the bad materials which have negative impacts on our environment. These industrial effluents, they may contain acids, alkali, toxins, poisons, and oils, and in some cases they also contain pathogens such as the harmful bacteria and viruses. So other than industrial wastes, mines are also releasing a huge amount of wastewater in our environment, especially the gold and the coal mines. They are releasing a lot of acid water in our natural drains. Agricultural pesticides, fertilizers, herbicides which are released through the water wastes from our agricultural industry, and all these pollutants, they are released in the water drains, for example the natural rivers, streams and the stagnant waterfalls. So other than agricultural, the sewage is also contributing as a waste water. So, and the sewage, it contains a comparatively lesser amount of pollutants, but it contains detergents and pathogens, and it contains dust material which is coming from our sewage, plus the paper and pulp is also released through the sewage waste materials. And of course, just like other wastewater, this sewage wastewater is also released in water bodies, and it is polluting our natural reserves of water. So to understand how this wastewater is polluting our environment and it's having a negative impact on the aquatic ecosystem, let's watch this video.
Musim hujan sering banjir, Kak. Jadi kalau saya merawatnya, wah tangan juga saya sampai gatal-gatal, sampai flu. Padi juga sering rusak tuh. In this video, we watched that how the dirtiest river in Indonesia is being polluted. So it is considered as one of the most polluted rivers in the world. And we could see that how much the liquid waste materials from the industries, from sewage, from the municipal waste, and a lot of solid waste is being added into this river. So all these pollutants which are being added into the wastewater, they can be classified into two different categories. One is the non-persistent and other is the persistent chemicals. Non-persistent chemicals or the degradable pollutants are those pollutants which can be degraded by the chemical processes or the natural processes performed by different microbes. Or they might have a short lifespan, and they would be degraded or metabolized automatically after a short time period. So these degradable pollutants, they are present mostly in our domestic waste, fertilizers and industrial wastes, some of them, and then the disease-causing microbes or the pathogens, they are degraded with the passage of the time. So they can be broken down by the chemical processes and the natural processes into those byproducts which are not harmful as compared to these persistent or these non-persistent chemicals. So their product is mostly the carbon dioxide and nitrogen, which is produced by the action of the microbes.
So these nitrogen and carbon dioxide as such, it is not toxic for our environment and for the animals and plants. But if we are adding up the loads of waste materials which are degradable, but it is like really in a huge amount, और microbes उसको continuously degrade कर रहे हैं and they are adding more carbon dioxide and more nitrogen in our environment, then it would be dangerous for the environment because it is adding more nutrients, more carbon dioxide, और उसका result जो है वो excessive nutrition और eutrophication की form में appear होगा. But this damage is reversible with the passage of the time. Environment would automatically it would recover itself because these compounds are being degraded with the passage of the time. So non-persistent के साथ जो दूसरी category है, that category is persistent water pollutants, and this is actually the major concern for the environmentalist because these are the compounds which will stay in our environment for the longer time period. For example, one example is the DDT, which is banned, but still certain countries they are using this DDT. हमने इसको biomagnification के module में study किया था. So DDT की half life is 15 years. तो 15 years गुजरने के बाद half of the DDT released in our environment would be degraded. So it will take a really long time for its natural degradation. So these pesticides, for example, DDT, dieldrin, are the examples of persistent water pollutants. इनमें से कुछ ऐसे हैं जो कि leachate components हैं, and these leachate chemicals they are present in the landfills and the sites. वहाँ से ये leaching करके हमारे underground water reserves जो हैं उनमें भी enter हो जाते हैं. So दूसरे जो persistent water pollutants हैं उनमें the products of oil industry, for example the petroleum products, they would stay in our environment for the longer time period, and not all the microbes they can decompose these petroleum droplets. Heavy metals also stay for a very long time, and they enter in our food chain and present at different trophic levels, and then they are magnified. The examples are mercury and lead, cadmium. ये वो ऐसे components हैं जो कि हमारी industries add up कर रही हैं, plus fossil fuel की burning के through भी ये compounds हमारे एयर पोल्यूशन में एंटर हो रहे हैं और एयर के थ्रू एसिड रेन्स की फॉर्म में वेस्ट वाटर में एंटर होते हैं. रेडियो एक्टिव मटीरियल्स ऐसी इंडस्ट्रीज हैं जो कि रेडियो एक्टिव मटीरियल्स को किसी एक स्टेप के ऊपर अपने किसी केमिकल या फिजिकल प्रोसेस में कंज्यूम करती हैं. प्लस न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट्स आर ऑल्सो रिलीजिंग स्मॉल और ट्रेस अमाउंट ऑफ दीज रेडियो एक्टिव मटीरियल्स इन देयर वाटर वेस्ट. बट इवन इन द ट्रेस अमाउंट, trace volume, still they are very toxic for the life present in that aquatic ecosystem and the health of human beings even. Because there are many microbes and small animals which have a very low tolerance for the radioactive material. So these are easily damaged even if these compounds are present in trace amount. So these persistent water pollutants are more dangerous, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली हमारी इंडस्ट्री और हमारी एग्रीकल्चरल वेस्टेस ब्लाइंडली ऐसे कंपाउंड्स को रिलीज कर रही हैं जिनको बायोडिग्रेड करना नेचुरली प्रेजेंट जो नेचुरल माइक्रोब्स हैं उनके लिए पॉसिबल नहीं है. और मोस्टली इन कंपाउंड्स को मेटाबोलाइज किए बगैर, रिसाइकिल किए बगैर ही हमारी वेस्टेस जो नेचुरल ड्रेन्स हैं, वाटर ड्रेन्स, वहां पर इसको रिलीज कर दिया जाता है, या इवन इसको सीवेज वाटर में भी रिलीज कर दें तो अल्टीमेटली इनकी जो डंपिंग है वो किसी भी रिवर या किसी भी स्ट्रीम में होगी. एंड देन ऑल दीज रिवर्स एंड स्ट्रीम दे वुड टेक दिस वेस्ट वाटर इनटू द सी, एंड रिजल्टेंटली वी आर डैमेजिंग द ओशंस एंड सीज विच आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर लाइफ ऑन आवर प्लेनेट.